I would say, I who have advocated for black people my entire life, would say something like that.
Because you've advocated for black people, great, congratulations. Last time I checked, I'm black, you're not.
Okay, Shermichael.
That's right. I'm Latino, and my people are being racially profiled.
And do I have to remind you the history of my people?
Shermichael,
do I want to go there?
No, I don't.
Do you really want to go there?
Raul, we're going to go to break.
Things got heated over at CNN, man. One of my favorite, he probably actually is my favorite analyst, man, Scott Jennings. He was in the middle of it all. You have one of the ladies of The View, Anna Navarro. She got a little heated. I forget the brother's name, man. Shermichael something. I don't know. I can't remember his name, but yeah, man, it got a little testy. Abby Phillips did what she could over there to break things up, and they had to break to commercial. It got a little heated, man. So without further ado, let's take a look, man, at the peoples at CNN.
Number one, the children that you mentioned were not deported. They went with their mothers. Their mothers requested that the children come with them. So their mothers were deported because they were illegal aliens.
They didn't get the process.
And so to go through they went. So there's really two choices here. Split the.
Okay, so they keep talking about due process here. Scott Jennings is about to light their ass up. He is about to light their ass up, man, because you have an issue in this country, man. You have millions of illegal immigrants that are in this country right now. Scott Jennings right now is about to lay it down. Pay attention.
Family, or keep the family together. The U.S. government's policy here was to let the mothers decide. The mothers decided to take the children. That's number one. On the Garcia case, effectively what you all are arguing for.
Right here.
Passionately. And what Democrats are passionately arguing for is for the President of the United States to re-import a dangerous member of a transnational terrorist organization who has clear affiliations with a gang that commits heinous atrocities. That is not what he was elected to do. And whether you bring him back here or not, I'm just going to explain to you the politics of this through telling you what the Speaker of the House, Hakeem Jeffries, did today. Which is that he told his members, please, for the love of God, stop going to El Salvador and dying on this hill. The politics of this could not be worse for the left and worse for Democrats because the president knows he was elected to protect us from MS-13, and that is what they are doing.
None of the things you just said have been proving.
What do you say about the tattoos?
I say that what Trump said yesterday was an absolute lie.
It's not.
They're not Photoshopped. Are you saying the MS-13 that Donald Trump claims are legitimate tattoos on this guy are true? Are you saying the Photoshop is true?
Are you a tattoo truther? I mean, I don't understand.
Wait, are you a Photoshop denier?
You're getting away from the issue. Hold on. Yeah, we are getting away from the issue, Scott. The picture of his knuckles does not say MS-13.
The symbols.
Okay, yeah. Let me just explain to people what we're talking about.
That has not been proven either, Scott. None of the things he has said.
Guys.
They have not said so in court.
Let me just explain to people what we're talking about here. There are symbols on his knuckles. None of them say MS-13. However, this administration has decided that they symbolize something related to MS-13, which is disputed by a lot of people.
It's not disputed.
Okay, so they are right. There was an interview, President Donald Trump, the part that he was wrong about, they had the MS-13 on the knuckles, right? Someone was actually just showing you what the symbols actually meant. So they put the MS-13 on the knuckles, but the gentleman has these symbols on here. So the problem with a lot of these people here is they've never been gang associated. They've never been in a gang. They never lived around it. They didn't come from this environment. It'd probably be safe to say none of them came from this type of an environment. So a lot of them don't know. So I come from that environment. It is what it is, man. You know, you're born into it. You're born into it. Anyway, I said, okay, let me go ahead and I'll talk to my peoples. I got family and friends out in Cali, out in Arizona as well. I said, look, man, question for you. They looked at the picture. Is this MS-13? Okay. And my peoples says absolutely. Those are gang tattoos. That doesn't mean MS-13. You'll see MS-13 gang members with those tattoos 100%. And the DEA, the gang enforcement, they've also identified these tattoos on many MS-13 gang members. So, and if you know anything about gang culture. You can't sit up here and represent if you're not part. You can't be throwing these type of tattoos on you if you're not down. It's as simple as that. So this gentleman here has been identified as an MS-13 gang member. He has the tattoos that says he's an MS-13 gang member. You have the DEA, you have the gang units that have identified that these particular tattoos and these symbols are MS-13. And I talked to my peoples who are part or were part of gang culture. They say, yeah, man, this definitely MS-13. So let's continue.
I am going to move on.
Years of neglect and letting people walk into here without any process at all, and now you're trying to gum up the works to keep them here.
A lot of them came in. A lot of them came in with parole. A lot of them came in.
CNN polling shows 54% of Americans want Mr.
November
Abrego
polling
Garcia
showed Donald
back.
Trump won the
That's
election.
CNN polling.
The
public is shifting.
We are a sovereign nation, and you cannot just come into our country illegally whenever the heck you want, because we can't do it to any other country on the face of this earth.
Asylum is a legal right.
If you come in illegally, you have to leave. Americans are tired of that. We do not have unlimited resources.
You know who was here illegally with a deportation order? Marco Rubio's grandfather.
All right,
We're not talking about Marco Rubio.
Oh, now we're not? Now that's not relevant?
It's not relevant.
No, I'm talking about Marco Rubio because
conversation
Marco
at
Rubio
all.
used to be an advocate for TPS for Venezuelans, and Marco Rubio used to
I'm
be
not Marco
an advocate
Rubio,
for Nicaraguans
let me tell you
and
my
Cubans.
beliefs.
No,
If
I know
you
you're
come
not.
into this country illegally, you are going home. Simple as that. We do not have unlimited resources.
I think
in
a
this
lot of
country
Americans
to take care of other
There's
people.
a hell of a lot of people, other than the
first,
black
Anna.
people who were brought here as slaves who came to this country illegally.
They're
From a
not
lot
the
of
same as
different-
black people who were brought here against our
That's
will.
exactly what I
They
just said.
decided
I
to
said
walk
there is
their
a
butts
lot
across
of
the
people
border. There's a
other
big
than the
difference.
black
There is
people.
a big
That's
difference.
exactly what I
There's a
just
big
said.
difference.
That's
Shermichael,
exactly what I just said,
Shermichael
Shermichael.
and
Look and act indignant. That's exactly what I
It's not
just
about
said.
acting indignant.
Yes, it is.
Let me
You just heard me say
Shermichael,
that other than the black
Anna
people
and
who
Shermichael,
came as
please.
slaves, there are a lot of people from many
Shermichael, I think
many
you
countries
actually
that came
misheard
here
what
illegally.
I think you misheard what she said.
No, he purposely misheard it.
She said.
I purposely
Yes, she
misheard.
did.
So now you're in my brain.
Shermichael, listen to me for
Is
just a second.
Is that where we're going?
You think
Shermichael,
I would
listen to me
say,
for a
I who have
second.
advocated
Anna,
for black
please
people
stop.
my entire life would
Anna,
say something like that?
Anna,
Give me a
Because
damn
you've
break.
advocated for black
Anna,
people,
please
great.
stop.
Congratulations. Last time I checked, I'm black. You're not.
Okay, Shermichael.
That's right. I'm Latino, and my people are being racially profiled.
It is.
And
And do I have to remind you the history of my people?
Sure,
Do
I
I
have
want
to
to go
read-
there?
no, I
Do
don't.
you really
Okay,
want to go
we're
there?
gonna
and
go to
never
break.
know
know the
Raul,
history.
Raul, we're going to go to
You know
break.
why?
Raul
Because
Reyes,
you're
thank you
kidding
very
me,
much for
because
joining us.
history
Everybody else, hang tight.
History was not
We'll be right back.
erased when I was studying history like the time.
Man, it got heated. It got heated, man. Man, must see TV. I don't care what no one says, man. Politicking is some of the best TV, some of the best movie franchises of all time. I mean, it provides me with a lot of entertainment. Anna Navarro, look at her. Man, you know she didn't have to say that. She knew she'd been wanting to say that for a while. Look at her, she is upset. Let me tell you something, man. The gentleman has said this earlier before, and I don't know if any of you have ever worked for international companies where you've had to travel abroad, and you have colleagues that actually travel abroad as well. They come here from other countries to the United States. They'll tell you, look, other countries have more strict immigration policies than the United States, and these people travel all over the world. I've had the pleasure of being able to travel abroad, going to various countries, and I know this: other countries, including Mexico, have very, very strict policies when it comes to living in their country, man, and trying to get citizenship or visas in their country. It's just true. The United States, for the longest time, has been very lenient in allowing people to come over to this country. During the Biden administration, millions upon millions, the number is, I believe, 20 million people or more have come over to the United States illegally. And what they are suggesting, and when I say they, the Democrats, is, they all have to get due process. Like Scott Jennings has said before, well, there's no due process to come over here, right? So now, in order to get 20-some million people out of this country, you want them to go to court so this can be prolonged. Bottom line. And I'm gonna roll the clip of Tom Homan. He actually explains why.
And as far as releasing so many people, you know why the Biden administration released millions of people in the United States? No one ever talks about it. I'll talk about it. Why did they release people into the interior of the United States and put them, rather than put them into an ice bed? Why not put them in an empty ice bed at $127 a night rather than in a hotel room at $500 a night? They did it on purpose, because when you put them in an ice detention bed, they get a hearing in 35 days. Court records show 9 out of 10 people claim asylum, get order removal, they're gone. But if you release them and put them in a hotel room at $500 a night, their hearings could be 5, 7, 9 years if you pull out all appeals. And what are they hoping for then? That another Democrat administration is in power. They can award an amnesty to millions. This is about selling this country out for future political power. That's what it was. The law clearly says if you arrive at our border without proper documentation, you shall be detained. Not maybe, not think about it, shall. And that's what President Trump's doing. Catch and release is over. That's what the law says, and that's what we've done. And as far as releasing so many people, you know what?
You heard it, man. Tom Homan. What did he say? Selling this country out for political power or future political power. I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy. I mean, it's interesting the more and more information that comes out about this. So you flood the country with illegal immigrants. You let them come over here with the hopes that, okay, we can have them vote for us. There's no voter registration, no voter IDs, or there's no voter ID needed, which I think is ridiculous, in hopes that they'll vote you back into the office, or, you know, so you can be voted back into office. Selling the American citizens out, selling our country out, I think it's crazy. Absolutely insane. So shout out to Tom Homan, ICE. Shout out to President Donald John Trump. You're doing an amazing job. This is what the people voted for. And you see the Democratic Party, the Democratic leaders, or the Democratic Party, they're trying to convince the American citizens this is not what you want. That President Trump is doing this, and the American citizen doesn't want it. That's a lie. We voted for that. He campaigned on that, and you know, it's been said many times. If you want to become a citizen of the United States, go to the port of entry, do it the correct way. If you are here illegally, deport yourself, come back, and do it the right way. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you think that it's easy to become a citizen of another country, go ahead and try it, and let us know what that country says.
If you're a criminal, you'll be deported. If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up. The actions I'm taking are not only lawful, they're the kinds of actions taken by every single Republican president and every single Democratic president for the past half century.
I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone. If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes, and you have to try to learn English, and you have to wait in line.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants. but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
Even as we are a nation of immigrants, we're also a nation of laws. Undocumented workers broke our immigration laws, and I believe that they must be held accountable, especially those who may be dangerous. That's why over the past 6 years, deportations of criminals are up 80%. And that's why we're going to keep focusing enforcement resources on actual threats to our security.